First things first, Sam Flannel. Your guy, the blue-blooded Michigan man, Aidan Hutchinson, showed up big again. Had 2 turnovers, forced another interception. The only defensive lineman rookie with multiple interceptions in a season in NFL history. He fell on top of a fumble. He was in the backfield. He finished with 3 tackles, an interception, and a fumble recovery. Aidan Hutchinson, is he your defensive rookie of the year?
Aidan mother bleeping Hutchinson. So let me be a little long-winded with this. I got some numbers. Aidan Hutchinson leads by the numbers. Aidan Hutchinson leads all rookies in sacks with 5.5. So this was a pretty loaded edge rusher draft class, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So he has more than twice as many sacks as Trayvon Walker.
Huh?
More than 5 times as many sacks as Kayvon Thibodeau. More than twice as many sacks as Jermaine Johnson. And I believe more than what George Karlaftis has a half a sack. And what does that make 10 times? 10 times more than
10 times
more sacks than George Karlaftis.
Tell him, Flynn.
And also, Aidan Hutchinson has more sacks this season than Aaron Donald.
Wait, one more time?
Aidan Hutchinson has more sacks this season than Aaron Donald.
He's pretty good.
Pretty good.
He's a pretty good player.
And not only that, Aidan Hutchinson has 2 interceptions. That is just as many as Sauce Gardner. That is 1 more than Derek Stingley Jr.
Ooh.
Hell, that is 1 more than Marcus Peters.
That is.
And that is 1 more than Jalen freaking Ramsey.
Wow. Bruh.
So my conclusion is, after all of that, after taking everything into consideration, hell yeah, he's the defensive rookie of the year. Are you kidding me? I know a lot of you want to talk about Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner's having a damn good year. Tariq Woolen, obviously, been great. Devin Lloyd, Jaquan Brisker, all those guys have been great this year. But Aidan freaking Hutchinson, when you lay out those numbers, when you look at the impact that he has had on games that they've won, including last week, he got an interception.
He did.
A big interception that completely swung the game. It was 6-3 Giants. And what happened after that interception? The Lions promptly went on a 14-0 run before half and then scored another touchdown getting the ball back after halftime. That's a 21-0 run after Aidan Hutchinson gets that pick. Completely swings the game. And then the Giants, 24-12. They were driving. They just got a big first down. Will Harris forces a fumble. And guess who's Johnny on the spot? Not even Johnny
on the spot.
The classic
Boomer Sam.
Absolutely. Hustles to the football, recovers it, and then the Lions go right down and score 31-12. And that is all she wrote.
All she wrote.
And it's not
she
just
didn't
that
write
game.
Anything else.
And it's not just that game. Who had that big sack to basically take it from 2nd and 10 to 3rd and 15 while the Bears were going down to potentially win the game?
It was a white guy.
It was a white guy.
Some big white dude.
Yeah, big white dude. With a number 97.
97 on the back.
97. Who had that big goal line interception when it was 4th and 1, 0-0? The Green Bay Packers were looking to take a lead.
It was a white guy.
It was a white guy. What number did he wear, Easy?
97.
What number?
97.
90
I think it was Aidan Hutchinson.
90 freaking 7. Who had 3 sacks in the first half against the Washington Commanders in week 2?
Another white guy.
In a half.
The same white guy.
In a half in which the Lions outscored the Commanders 22-0, gave them basically an insurmountable halftime lead.
Was it
Clutchinson, something like that? Aidan Hutchinson?
I believe
it was this guy. I believe it was this guy.
It was that guy.
Oh my God, he's having a seizure.
He's real white. He's doing the raptor dance.
It was that guy.
Yeah.
All that into totality. He's leading all rookies in sacks. He has just as many interceptions as Sauce Gardner. He's making impact plays on every single game that the Lions have won. The Lions are now 4-6. I know we had some concerns about the beginning. He had some struggles, but he has really come on, and he has basically came back, I wouldn't say from the dead, but he has come from being a little disappointing to me being the absolute front runner for defensive rookie of the year. Give me Aidan Hutchinson 10 times out of 10.
Let me read these stats from my notes so I don't get anything wrong. Through 10 games, Aidan Hutchinson, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 5.5 sacks, 31 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 10 quarterback hits. Sauce Gardner through 10 games, 2 interceptions, 14 pass breakups, 45 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a 52.9 completion percentage allowed. I don't know if I'm ready to springboard Aidan above Sauce, but if he continues this type of play, he's going to win it. He is going to win that because this guy is breaking games. What does Braylon Edwards always say when him and Maz or him and Stick or him and whoever go back and forth about Penei Sewell versus Micah Parsons? A defensive end, a defensive lineman, an edge rusher can win a game for you in 3 plays. They can go out there and break a game in 1 play. And what has Aidan Hutchinson been doing these past couple weeks? Making game-breaking plays to sway the game to the Lions' favor, picking off Aaron Rodgers in the red zone, picking off Daniel Jones on a great play, stepping in front of the tight end, give me those, and then running down the sideline. If he wasn't right on the sideline, he might have scored because he made a spin move off the offensive tackle. He looked pretty good carrying the ball. Put Hutchinson in a red zone package. Dude's got hands. No, but it's beautiful to watch. Easy. Is Aidan Hutchinson your defensive rookie of the year?
He's the front runner without a question, without a doubt. I love my boy Jeff El Jefe sits in your seat from 8 to 10 on Monday through Friday on the Morning Woodward Show. He still thinks it's Sauce Gardner? No. It's right not even close. Literally, this guy plays defensive line. He has the same amount of interceptions as Sauce Gardner. By the way, never had an interception in his entire life until he made it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the 5.5 sacks on top of it. Yeah, you can look at the sacks in the Washington game. You can say, hey, a lot of those were clear, you had to get those. Carson Wentz running around like an idiot. He kind of ran into you at certain points. At one point, you weren't even touched when you got one of those sacks. But it doesn't matter because he still has 3 more after that. I'm sorry, 2 more after that. Aidan Hutchinson is the front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year without a doubt, without a question. I mean, I understand Sauce is doing his thing, but if we're being realistic about Sauce, you guys can look for it yourselves after the show, of course. There's a whole Twitter thread about the guys he's actually guarding out there. It's not always the number 1 guy every single play. He's not shadowing the best receiver on every single play. He's playing his side of the field. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect what Sauce has done this year. It's truly amazing, especially as a rookie cornerback. Cornerback's one of the hardest positions to transition to in the NFL. Sauce is a fantastic talent. But the fact that Aidan has the same amount of interceptions as a defensive lineman, who's always rushed and the 4-man rushes, he never played linebacker, none of that. It's Aidan Hutchinson.
Dude's got hands of velvet,
and he's only going to keep doing this.
He's got better hands than Eric Ebron.
And by the way, I just want to shout out, and we're going to talk about it next segment too, but shout out Kirby Joseph because he's also part of that conversation now.
He is. Kirby Joseph has vaulted into that Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. And just so we have it on record, Sauce Gardner has allowed 226 yards on 51 targets so far this year. That's about 4.4 yards per target. So the man is still playing very well, playing very good football.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think he should be discredited.
No, and that's not at all what I'm trying to do. What Sauce Gardner has done, he's basically locking down half the field for the Jets on a defense that's basically carrying them with a crappy quarterback play of Zach Wilson. Mm-hmm. Just one thing I want to clean up in the YouTube chat, if you don't mind. When I was talking about him having more sacks, Aidan Hutchinson, than Aaron Donald, I didn't see who it was, but someone said, but Aaron Donald's a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald also has, according to my calculations,
six.
Bro, that's him calculating.
10 sack seasons.
Nice.
Aaron Donald is a sack artist, including
a
season in which he had 20 and a half. Hey, yo! But yeah, having more sacks as a rookie is more sacks than Aaron Donald is insanely impressive.
Aaron Donald can be, he's a master of sacks.
Master of sacks.
Master of sacks. He's a king of sacks.
Hey, yo! Be careful. That's a dangerous man.
He's a big sack guy.
He also might be the single greatest defensive player to ever play NFL football.
I think he is. I think he's the best. I think he's the best football player I've ever seen.
And Aidan Hutchinson, as a rookie through 10 games, has more sacks than Aaron Donald. I don't think people understand the magnitude of that. That's unbelievable. And even more interceptions than Jalen Ramsey, who's been probably the best corner of the past maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
I mean, you can argue someone else, but I'd say Jalen Ramsey. That's the thing. Aidan Hutchinson is making splash plays that swing games. I know that a lot of people are too, but
one more thing to Aidan Hutchinson, obviously we've seen this turn around once after that bye week. We started seeing this 2-point stance now, and he said, but he's the one who went to Aaron Glenn as a head coach. I think I'm seeing things a lot better when I'm in this 2-point stance. I think I can read the field and what's going on. I can still defend the run. He had the wherewithal and the balls to have the conversation with AG.
The balls, the
which
sack.
is then translated to what the Aidan Hutchinson we've seen now. Because up until that point, as Sam said, very pedestrian. Very disappointed.
And that is another thing. The adjustments that he's made himself. You say, going to Coach Glenn and saying, hey, stand me up. stand me up, coach. I'm better. I've always been better. And it's working. The adjustments he's made on over pursuing on screens, different things like that. Now he's dropping back to coverage and getting interceptions, showing those silky hands, those silky mitts. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough. He's making a push. He's making a push for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I would not be mad at you if you said either or. If you said Aidan, if you said Hutch, if you said Sauce, whoever you want there, I'm not mad at it.